So welcome to this week's Optimal Health Clinic Facebook Live. This week, I'm coming to you from my garden in London. I'm trying to continue the inspiration from being outside in LA last week. And I've been working from home today, and which I often do on Wednesdays, and looking out the window at the sunshine all day, kind of thinking I've just got to get outside. And I've managed to get outside just as the sun's going over the house. You can just see the reflection behind me, just a little bit of sun that's left, and the kids' trampoline there in the corner, obviously. So this week I thought I wanted to kind of continue a little bit of what I was talking about in last week's Facebook Live, where I was talking about the importance of having the right team for the recovery path, of, in a sense, yes, being captain of the ship of your own recovery, but also building around you the team of people that are going to support you and making sure that you have that right team. And the kind of second piece that I kind of wanted to add to that is the importance of being inspired. And that's often the role that, that a coach or a mentor or a practitioner can play in our lives. But also we can strategically play that role for ourselves as well. And obviously when you're going on and doing anything in life which is particularly challenging and difficult, be that someone training to be in the Olympics, or someone training to run a disruptive company, or somebody who is a musician, for example, that we always need when the going gets challenging and difficult. We need people that that believe in us, that can inspire us and can support us. And there are a few paths or journeys that you can go on in life which are more challenging or more difficult than recovery from ME, chronic fatigue, or fibromyalgia. I think often what it feels like is climbing Everest or running a marathon every day of your life. And so having inspiration and having people that can support us, but also having ways that we can inspire ourselves, I think is really helpful and really important. And for me, on my recovery path, what that looked like is back in those days, in the kind of whatever it was, 1996 to 2003. Back in those days, there just weren't recovery stories. So it wasn't, the internet was around, but it wasn't kind of mass adoption of the internet. And there weren't any books by anyone that had recovered from any of this group of illnesses. So what I used to do is I used to literally go to the local library and try and find books of people that had recovered from other illnesses and people that had lived through extremely difficult life situations. So people that had battled with things like cancer, people that had lived with AIDS, people that had become paralyzed, people that had done things like climbed Everest. And I found those books incredibly helpful and inspiring. And although their life circumstance wasn't the same as mine, a lot of the feelings were similar. In fact, I don't remember the source of the quotes, but one of the quotes that I found very helpful on my path to recovery was, when you're running a marathon, it doesn't matter how many times along the way you give up, as long as you keep putting one foot in front of the other. And I think that's often how the recovery path can feel. There can be many times that we just feel hopeless and we feel like giving up, and we might even give up for an evening or a day. Sometimes, ironically, when we do that, our symptoms improve a little bit because it reduces all the pressure and the stress around fighting and trying to kind of trying to push through. But as long as we keep putting one foot in front of the other, as long as we keep moving forwards and doing the things that are going to support us, getting more clarity when we go for a crash or a relapse, learning about that, understanding what was behind that, so strategically we can avoid that happening in the future. As long as we keep putting one foot in front of the other, we're still progressing and we're still moving forwards. And this principle around inspiration and remembering the importance of it was the logic behind starting Secrets to Recovery back almost exactly 10 years ago. It was ME Awareness Week in 2007 that we originally launched Secrets to Recovery. And back in those days, it was CDs, it was conference calls and CDs. Every other 2 Tuesdays a month, so roughly every other Tuesday, I'd interview someone about their recovery story. Or we would, I would do a session, or we'd talk to one of the practitioners. And that went on for, I think, about 4 or 5 years or something. We did over 100 of those sessions. Must have been 4 years, I guess. And then in 2012, I think it was. Hi Tracy. In 2012, we did the reformat of all the new modules, and we're going to be launching next week a completely updated, rebuilt version of Secrets to Recovery with mobile optimized new website, brand new video modules, a whole bunch of stuff which we'll let you know about. No doubt there'll be questions, but if you can be a little bit patient, you'll see all the information on that coming out. And as part of that, we also, as some of you are aware, we've been remaking our documentary film over the last few months. And I just saw a close to final cut of that last night. And I was inspired, and it's kind of ironic because I've, having produced and directed the film, I've seen that footage well over a dozen times now. But just watching the stories, I just watching in a kind of clean cut was very powerful. And it just made me think that recognizing, however challenging or difficult or painful what we're going through is, that someone else has been through something similar, or at least felt the same emotions, like they want to give up, or like it's impossible, or they'll never get through it, or it'll never change. And if other people have felt those feelings and emotions and they've steered their ship through that, then there's something we can learn from that. And to remember that our feelings, our emotions, our mood, they change. As much as they can feel rigid and stuck sometimes, they change. And however, flat and stuck we might feel, it only takes one new piece of information to change everything. The amount of times that I've been in a consultation with a patient and they've been in a place of feeling completely stuck and like things are never going to change. And then through kind of, trying to solve the puzzle and through exploring it and questions and understanding, we've suddenly found a fundamental key to what's going on. And a fundamental key which just lands a kind of atomic bomb inside of them of like, holy shit, of course, that explains all of this. Their mood completely changes because suddenly it doesn't feel hopeless, helpless, permanent, that's never going to change. And so my kind of question to you guys really is, when you're in a place of feeling very stuck, or indeed just in a place where it's like really like another day of this, another day I have to feel this way, another time I have to manage a crash or a relapse, that remembering that other people have experienced these feelings and they found ways to steer the ship, to navigate through them, and the power of watching, listening, hearing other people's stories is palpable and significant. And that's why we put out the recovery stories that we do. And that's why we avoid miracle recovery stories, which of course we have, like other organizations have. I just don't think they're always that helpful to put them out there because everyone else then feels like they're failing because they're not having a miracle recovery story. But yeah, watching those things on YouTube, when the film comes out, it'll be completely free. We will, I think on Friday, the idea, and this is still getting this typical, you probably wouldn't know this, but behind the scenes Optimum Health Clinic, me kind of figuring things out right till the last minute and everyone having to kind of run around to help support it, which I'm grateful for. But the plan is that on Friday, we're going to release the trailer. I haven't seen the trailer yet, which is why I'm not yet fully committing to it. But the idea is on Friday, we will put the trailer out. You'll be able to sign up with your email address. Many of you already are on our list anyway, but just sign up with your email address. The film, I think, will probably come out Wednesday or Friday next week. As I say, it will be completely free to watch. We would love you to share it, tell people about it, get the word out. The new Secrets to Recovery, the word will come out at the same time as the film, I expect, about that. For those of you that are already members of Secrets to Recovery, there'll be a way that you can get access to new Secrets to Recovery at a huge, like a 50% discount. And for those of you that are not on Secrets to Recovery, it still isn't going to be expensive because, again, as people will know, we want to get the word out there. We're also going to be launching a significant fundraising campaign to support the next stage of our randomized controlled trial. So there'll be information on that at the same time as well. So there's a lot going to happen in the next kind of 10 days or so here at OHC. But yeah, it all sits, well, not all of it, but part of it sits in this wider picture around inspiration. So what I wanted to encourage you guys to do, I thought, given we've got a really good community now that's building around these Facebook Lives, this Facebook page I think is over 6,500 people that have liked the page. The Facebook group we've got has got over 400 people in there, and there seems to be some really positive, good dialogue that's going on. What I thought would be really cool would be underneath this video, you guys might want to share with each other what inspires you. So when you're having challenging, difficult times or days, or even on days that are good days, but you want some inspiration, what are the books, what are the movies, what are the recovery stories that you've seen that we've done? Like, what are the things that inspire you and support you? And yeah, just please, you know, share that underneath here, and I think that'll be a really good support. Tracy, just in response to your question, I feared this would do this if I mentioned anything about it without all the information. Everyone that's got access to the current secrets will still have it. So nothing's changing with the current secrets recovery. It'll all still be there. It'll be completely supported. So anyone that's ever paid for the original secrets will, as we promised, will continue to have lifetime access to that. So nothing changes there. We simply have spent a lot of time upgrading yeah, we're always trying to improve and develop things. So there may be more questions about this, and they will get answered when we launch. It will be good for everyone, I'm sure. I think we've covered all bases in terms of questions and concerns people might have. So yeah, please do share underneath. If there's any quick questions that come up, I'm happy to answer them now. But otherwise, yeah, please just post questions underneath. Sorry, post questions now, but also post things that have inspired you, people that inspire you, films that inspire you, books that inspire you, recovery stories that inspire you, quotes that inspire you, and maybe someone wants to start a thread in the Optimum Health Clinic group as well. That might be a good place to get some discussion going as well. Yeah, I hope that's useful. Thank you for watching, and I'm excited to share the film and share the things that are happening. I think you guys are going to love it. Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye-bye.